Leisure wear was never really my thing unless, I'm just at home. That's what leisure comes in. But I've seen leisure wear really step out on the streets a lot. And I don't know if I'm a big fan, but when the Pure Chill came around, I was like, let me give it a try. Cause these look not half bad. But do they live up to the Pure Chill name? Let's talk about them. Here I have the Adidas Pure Chill slide shoe kind of croc type of situation. Now, I'm admittedly not the biggest fan of leisure wear, especially when it comes to footwear. Why? I always associate leisure wear with being at home and pajamas and waking up and putting the first thing out of your closet. And me subconsciously, when I see someone with loungewear, leisure wear out in public, I automatically think that their hygiene might not be up to par. I'm sorry. I know that's very judgmental, but that's how I was raised. You never leave the home with open toe shoes, especially slides, especially shoes that you would only wear inside of the home. So I was very, very skeptical and I was hesitant to grab these, but these are on sale. And I need a new pair of house slippers because I've been using my Jordan slides for way too long, almost 4 years now, and they haven't thinned out. They are pretty foamy. It's these BBL type shoes. Like, I will say that this is something that you would see like some some women, with BBLs wear at the pool or something. I don't know. They're extremely wide, but they're very cushiony and they're very flexible. And they've worked. Like they've really held their worth for quite some time. But I don't know. I just needed something new. Especially after almost 4 years. That's kind of nasty. Whatever. I have these in my hand. They are a single unit, a whole unit. There's no like panels to it. There's no division through it. There's no like separated. There's no tongue. There's no like everything is a single unit. It is all foam. It is sort of a very particular type of foam. It is very stiff. It does, however, allow for some travel, especially for some torsion. I've seen people say online that they wear these out and about, and the outsole specifically really does allow me to believe that people wear these outside because the outsole is, just it's very thick rubber, very very strong rubber, something that you would definitely be able to wear outside with no issues. That's another of my main complaints when I have with loungewear and leisure wear, especially with footwear, is that they're all foam. Even the soles, the outsoles, they are all foam. And I've always said that foam deteriorates quickly. It's not very good at, for wear and tear. It's just they are destroyed with just a couple of miles walking in them. So this is a good alternative between that sort of loungewear and actual footwear, to wear outside because of the outsole. And I think that's the biggest positive on this shoe. I think that it having an outsole really raises the bar for loungewear and, makes it easier for me to kind of justify trying to walk out on the actual streets, the dirty streets of my city in these. So, yeah, I really do like that part of it. Now, in the actual description of these shoes on the Adidas app, they describe it as soft comfort meets strong style and iconic post-workout slides. So they do consider them slides, not a shoe, an actual shoe, even though they're completely covered. They cover the top of the shoe. Slides don't completely cover all of your foot. They're usually open air, open toe. But they call them, this is how they describe them: move effortlessly from grind to glide in the innovative Pure Chill shoes. With an airy cushion feel and a cool futuristic vibe, these fashion-forward shoes are the ultimate recovery essential. The seamless upper and soft cushioning provide welcome relief after intense workouts. Cutouts for ventilation and breathable materials bring cool comfort to hard-working feet. That's where I disagree. I went for a long bike ride this morning, took a shower, and put these on right onto feet. I've been sweating my feet ever since I've been wearing these. Yes, it does have cutouts here in the top of the shoe, 10 holes in them, and they're pretty thick. They're pretty open there. But the rest of the shoe is completely covered. There's no ventilation besides those 10 holes. And it's been getting very warm in here. The upper is made out of EVA foam and it is a synthetic rubber. The only thing that's actual rubber is the outsole. So there's not a lot of ventilation. This type of material is very prone to capture moisture and keep it right next to your feet, specifically the toe area. So that's why I wouldn't call these sandals or slides, because slides are open toed for a reason, to ventilate the toes, to make it so if your feet are hot, they are able to ventilate with just being out in the open. That is one of my biggest complaints with this specific shoe, this specific silhouette. They are extremely, extremely hot. They are not ventilated at all. Like, this is a hot shoe. I would even say, and I would tell people that live in tropical climates, in the desert, that live in very hot weather, don't get these at all. Definitely, I would say go for some traditional slides, even some Adidas slides, because these are going to keep your feet very hot, to the point where some people might even get athlete's foot because of how much moisture these things capture. And especially if they're being marketed as after workout recovery shoes, recovery slides, quote unquote, your feet are going to be hot after a workout. They're going to be sweating. They're going to be producing a lot of heat. They're going to trap that heat. I can tell you right now, especially I would never wear these with no socks. I just don't like wearing any type of shoe without socks, except if you're going to the beach and wearing sandals. I think that's the only acceptable scenario where I would say, all right, you can wear shoes without socks. But you're definitely going to be wearing socks for these. If not, be prepared to be squishing around in your sweat and be just completely nasty. I can tell you that these are going to capture odors like nobody's business. That's one of my main issues with this shoe. Some of the other things that I do like about this shoe, it's a very cool silhouette. It's a very classic Adidas silhouette. You can definitely, even if the 3 stripes weren't there, obviously, you would know that this is an Adidas shoe because they kind of resemble Yeezys. I'm not going to lie. If Yeezy was still with us, not crazy, and still with Adidas, he would probably be doing, this would be a version of the Yeezy. And I can see that design ideology behind it. It's a very stylistic shoe, very futuristic, of course, with like all being one single shoe, just one single block, a single panel, no real kind of like complexity to it, straight to the point. This is a Yeezy shoe through and through. It's a cool futuristic shoe, and I can see why people would wear these outside. I myself am even considering, I have a trip coming up tomorrow. I'm going to be in airports all day. Should I wear these at the airport? Because it's not a slide, it's not a shoe, so it's kind of like in between an acceptable airport shoe, which is just regular sneakers, regular tennis shoes, and what's not acceptable, which is slides, in my opinion. Hey, everybody has their preference. I just don't think that wearing slides is the best option for airports, because what if you have to run to catch your airplane? You got to be ready, man. That's always going to be my main reasoning as to why I will never wear slides to the airport unless I'm already in the plane. Then, okay, I might consider wearing slides, but still, that's kind of nasty to me because having your toes out is, I don't know, something about airport bathrooms. think that they're very nasty, and I do not want a single part of my foot to be out and about and, risking it get wet with something. So even then, I probably would never wear slides. But these, I don't know. I don't know. At least they cover the feet, they cover the toes, and they look kind of cool. People are not gonna give you bad looks and say like, "Oh, look at that nasty ass dude." No, it's a very stylistic shoe. So yeah, overall, I think for the price point, this is a great option for house shoes, for lounge wear, for if you're gonna be traveling. I think this would be a good shoe. But again, that issue with the ventilation, and even like they are kind of, they're kind of lightweight, but they have some heftiness to it. They're not very flexible besides like the mid torsion. They are essentially just that. They're just a block of foam. I can see it as a good option for like, I don't really feel like putting on shoes. Let me put these on to go outside, get the mail. Let me go outside and like, I have like a short trip today, or I just want to get in the car and drive somewhere, pick up some food or whatever. That type of situation, yes. Anything past that, anything that is not like loungewear acceptable, I would steer clear of these. But for $57, you can't go wrong, man, for house shoes. But you, let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Adidas Purechill. Do you like them? How do you wear them? I'm very, very interested to see how people wear this shoe because of how interesting it is. Like, it's a combination. It's like right in between house shoe and outside shoe. Like, I really want to see how people have been using them, because honestly, I have not been seeing these out in public at all. Especially like young kids. They still rock their Crocs everywhere they go, which I'm like, again, what if you gotta run, bro? Like, you gotta stay prepared. You never know when you gotta run. These, they seem a little bit more, they hug the foot a little bit more, especially in the heel area, that you can actually run in these. I would probably feel comfortable running in these, probably not hitting any PRs, but still I would run in these. But as a recovery shoe, I don't think they're that good, because yes, they may be comfortable, but that ventilation is non-existent. And that's a huge part for me for recovery. I need to be able to let my dogs breathe. But let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Adidas Purechill. Folks, this has been Shoe Fernie. I've been True Fernie. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because believe it or not, every single bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Blue Sky, where I spend most of my waking hours talking about anything and everything that might interest you as my viewer. Check out my vlog channel. I've been uploading a lot of fitness content, mainly in short form. But I am running a marathon, the Mexico City Marathon, on August 30th. And I've been preparing for that. I've obviously done a lot of running shoe content lately on this specific channel that will continue after that marathon. But I kind of already have my shoe rotation that I have dialed in for this specific marathon. Been rocking the Mizuno Neo Zens. Check out that review. Been doing the Adidas Adi Zero Evo SL. Great shoe, but I have been having some plantar fasciitis issues with it, which is another video. I'm going to do a vlog on that and kind of like see how I'm tackling that specific issue with my feet in that shoe for the upcoming marathon. But make sure to subscribe and watch me on over there on that channel at Fernie G. Folks, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of one another, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace. Chill, bro. Take a chill pill.